This is our very first video. Welcome to
Yeah,
2-Bit Coffee. I am Moitroid.
I am M.B.Kortright. That's kind of long, but that's my name. So,
So we just doing this for fun. We're not trying to make money. Low key, we are, but we're in it more. We're in it more for the fun.
yeah. But I promise I'll get a better camera or something. It looks like I'm the one who's 32-bit.
We actually got Discord Nitro for a higher video quality, and we thought we were gonna get that, but I think it's the internet quality that's impacting this video. So
Yeah,
we're gonna figure it out for the next videos. Don't
it'll
unsubscribe.
get better. Yeah.
Yeah, don't unsubscribe from us.
What are you drinking, Moses?
I am drinking coffee because this is 32-bit coffee, and we love video games. We love coffee. We love pixel art, and
Which coffee are you drinking today? I know you have a bunch of them.
I'm just drinking regular house blend today, just to start off with.
Like the Starbucks
Yeah,
house blend
Starbucks.
stuff.
Starbucks.
Okay.
We're not sponsored, but yeah.
No, not at all. Look at my camera quality.
So the reason why we started making videos, started wanting to make videos here, we like to talk about. We have interest in similar things like coffee and cyberpunk and video games. Just like
Yeah.
all the other YouTube channels out there. We don't care that it's saturated. We just want to do our thing.
Yeah, we just want to do our thing.
Ignore everybody. You know.
And we're also we've been friends for a few years, right? So it's fun to do it among friends.
Yeah.
It's not we don't want to give a vibe that we're like this corporate monster. We're just two friends trying to have some fun.
And
So
this is just how it all starts. We were gonna put
yeah,
some
right.
love into this first video, but we decided like, getting set up is one thing. Actually doing the video is another thing. So I know this
Yeah.
video is crappy, but we're gonna, this is a good intro.
Hey, if you look back at all the YouTubers, this is how they started, right? Just go back and look at all the little crappy videos that everyone used to make. Maybe, I don't know, the technology is better now, but I don't know. This is how you start, I guess, no matter what.
And for those of you that are listening on the podcast, we are also we know that you are there. We're also focusing on YouTube
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
because we're going to convert this to audio format as well.
If we do anything with our hands, we have to explain,
Yeah,
right?
anything.
Or the people won't know what's going on.
Yeah, so that is it for our introduction.
Maybe next time we don't do that hard stop.
Yeah.
That's funny. So I think what we wanted to talk about today was Cyberpunk 2077, the next CD Projekt Red AAA open world RPG.
Yeah, there's a lot going on right now, especially with Cyberpunk 2077. There's a lot of hype for the game right now. A lot of videos and content are being produced around the world. And it's time for us to give in our take, or what we want from out of the game, or what we kind of predict as well. So
Yeah. I think we should start with story speculation. I think that'd be a good place to start. I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone has seen all the trailers and the gameplay and all that stuff. And the real cool thing that I've seen on all these trailers is that there's so many different topics, mechanics that they're putting together that it looks like this game could be endless.
there's endless
It's
gaming possibilities, gameplay possibilities. There's mini games
yeah,
within mini games. Like, it appears
crazy.
that there's so much you could do in the game based on the gameplay demos we've seen recently.
Yeah,
So it's like you could hack stuff. drive around.
Uh, for the for the story part of it. So, how much do you know from
I
all the stuff that you've seen?
the research that I done, I basically in terms of just 2077, not 2020 or the board game or any of the books. It's just about some guy named V or a girl because you could choose to be a girl or a guy.
Or you could, I think you could go genderless too.
Yeah, genderless. Yeah, genderless as well. And you could basically you and some guy named
Jackie.
Jackie. Yeah, you and him are
Yeah.
hired to steal this chip basically from this mega corp. And this, what the purpose of this chip is like supposedly it gives you immortality. And you get betrayed by Dex and another hacker, and you get dumped basically in a landfill where Keanu Reeves or Neo from the Matrix feels like you are the one.
Or John Wick.
Yeah, John. I hope it's John Wick. Yeah, like I think John Wick is more ideal for the situation. But yeah, anyways, he comes to you, wakes you up, and tells you, "Let's wake up. We gotta go. Take over the city, whatsoever." So, I think this is more about like getting involved, uh, more involved around the chip itself.
Yeah. So that's a good segue because I've read some interviews and they've said publicly that all the stuff that they've shown is all in the prologue or the first chapter of the game, which is nuts. Just put it into context, all the different things we've seen that all happens in the prologue or early on in the game.
Yeah, for all we
And
know,
so
that
yeah,
whatever we've seen so far could just be like 1% of the story. The
yeah,
chip
it's
might not
crazy.
even be the whole story. It might be something else. It could be. What
Yeah,
I think is just like a lot of games. I hope it's not this, but most games tend to be like, oh, let's take over the city. Let's have control. Some form of control, kind of like in the GTA games. Where you just kind of have to like do missions and gain respect and street credibility and stuff like that. Because I know there's some street cred in Cyberpunk 2077 where you gain some credibility among some gangs and stuff, and you get perks and technologies, Bioware, smart
yeah,
guns, stuff like that.
yeah. I have some stuff I want to talk about on Street Cred later on, but uh, like I said, I think we should dive into some story speculation, and I'm gonna throw you with the first one that I think is gonna happen, and I think that you get killed in the prologue,
Oh, okay. You get killed.
and I think that because the ship is inside your head, that it keeps you alive,
I see.
and I also think that Keanu
And you
Reeves
think the
is.
body, like, do you think the chip keeps the body alive or the mind alive?
I think there's probably gonna be something where cyberware and this chip maybe interact, and maybe you get turned into like this, I don't know, biomechanical thing with a consciousness that is being kept alive by this chip. I don't know, something like that.
Hmm.
But something more, I think, which is pretty cool, and I noticed this in the latest trailer that they released. In the end of the trailer, there's uh, like a mimic, right? Like V looks at his hand, and then Keanu Reeves looks at his hand. I think it was in that last demo. And that got me thinking. Probably Keanu Reeves is some sort of downloaded consciousness on that chip. Maybe the company was experimenting with how the chip would work, because another at another point in that gameplay, when they're at a bar, and he's asking about how to get his name on a drink. The bartender tells him that the only way to do it is to die, right? So we confirmed there that Johnny Silverhand is actually dead, but when he appears, it just makes me think then it must be some sort of experiment that they were doing with that chip where they downloaded his consciousness onto the ship. And now you have this chip in your head, and it's kind of interesting.
It kind of fused with you. You and the chip
Yeah.
with one. Yeah, and
Yeah. So yeah.
I'd
So you're
like to
Johnny
have Neo
Silverhand,
as
yeah.
my consciousness or John Wick as my consciousness. Instant aim.
It's yeah.
All that instant aim, instant kill. Just have to think about it and you kill that.
You are the one.
I would like to hear that, and I would like to hear his catchphrase that he uses in both The Matrix and John Wick, where it says,
Yeah.
"We need guns, lots of
Lots
guns."
of guns.
He says
Yeah.
that in both movies, so yeah,
So he should be saying it here too, huh?
he should be saying it in Cyberpunk. I'll boycott if I don't hear that. No, I'm just kidding.
So what do you think about that? Do you think it infringes on player freedom if you have this predetermined person attached to you? So I think what they were aiming was like RPG, total freedom. You can do whatever you want. But if you have like this character that's tied down to you from the start, do you think that infringes a little bit on the player freedom? What do you think?
When I think about like assistants, like for example, the fairy in Zelda Ocarina of Time, is I like to think of things in terms of level design, and a lot of things there are like, especially assistants, they're like guidance, are basically there to guide you in case you get stuck and to let you know
Mm.
more in on a story and stuff like that. I don't think it infringes or affects gameplay. If anything, I think like those kind of things are meant to be there in case, so that way the player could feel like they're being guided or they have somebody with them at all times, especially if they get stuck in some point or they want to know a little bit more about something that, in this case, Johnny Silverhand might have more experience with.
One of the cool things about a game that's this large and full of content is that there's enough space for players to speculate about, or not speculate, but like wishful thinking about what they want to see in the game. So I think we should talk about that because I think we're in a point in time where we know enough of the game where we can speculate, but not enough where it's not fun, right?
Mm.
Like we don't know all of the stuff that's going to be in that game, but we know enough where we can make um, speculation in the context of the game. So I think we should talk about that. And if you want, I can go first. Like I wrote a few things.
Yeah, like there's a lot of things that, or several things that I would like to see in the game.
Yeah,
Especially all the cool biotech that I want to run faster. So maybe like I could attach like another pair of legs, kind of like a
that'd be
Sagittarius,
crazy.
just so I could run
Like a
faster.
little spider, like
Yeah,
6 legs.
yeah, just like so that way I don't even need a car. I could just run it, and I could probably run up walls too and stuff. You know?
That's one of the things I want. I want to be able to scale the skyscrapers.
Yeah,
But yeah, but I want it to be different than, for example, a game like Spider-Man in the sense that I want to be able to scale the skyscrapers and then go into the buildings. So if I want to break into a penthouse on the top of a skyscraper, I can just climb the skyscraper and break in. I think that'd be so freaking awesome because it adds to this whole verticality concept that they're trying to push. They're saying that the game is the map is smaller than previous games, but they have this verticality thing where you have these huge
skyscrapers.
skyscrapers, and
Yeah,
so
there's a lot of things
I
that
wanna
I've seen.
climb. Yeah,
Yeah, along with that, adding to that, I think that in the past, especially with sandbox games, in urban like games like Grand Theft Auto and stuff like that, you can't really go inside buildings. There are only a limited amount of buildings you could walk into. Everything
yeah.
else is locked and stuff like that. I kind of want to have that freedom with this game where you could just go into any skyscraper, any home, and just walk in and talk to the people there. even if there's not too much context behind those NPC characters. Like, I just want the freedom to enter any room in the city.
Yeah, that
I
would
want
be
to
awesome,
feel that's like one way that I could feel like truly immersed in a world where you're
right?
not locked out of
Yeah,
anywhere in that sandbox. You go. I'm talking about like entering like offices, bedrooms, people who are working you know, like you never know. Like if they want to go above and beyond, I think that's one hope that I have. It's not an expectation, but uh, you know, the closest thing to this, which is not even comparable, is probably Breath of the Wild, where any mountain you see is you could climb it. You could go to it and climb it.
yeah,
Any mountain you see is like you're not limited. Like Zelda Breath of the Wild set the bar on that, and I kind of hope that Cyberpunk 2077 does the same thing, like where they set the bar in terms of where can you go, like the bounds, no restrictions, and talking with anybody you want to talk to.
yeah. And I think that's um, made even it's gonna be made even more possible with this new technology, right? Like these developers, they might have this vision in their head, but maybe they one thing that they already said they're gonna do is that the game is always going to be real time. So even if you're in a mission and you're talking to someone, and I think they showed this in one of their gameplay videos, I'm not sure, but you're talking with this person and then there's pedestrians walking outside, right?
Mm.
You're in this establishment and you see people walking, and they said, that's real time, right? If you decide to leave the conversation and go outside, it's the same
They're
people walking.
Yeah,
It's
and
kind of crazy,
they may not even be there again. They might be somewhere else in the map or something. Like if you leave and you might
right?
see the same people. I don't know. It's like we just don't know how much detail they put in terms of like NPCs and stuff. That's just something we're gonna have to find out. But I do hope it's very immersive, where you see some faces and you see them here and you might see them again. I don't know how much they put into like customization of NPCs, because you in games like GTA and stuff, I keep comparing it to GTA because like to me, I the way I see Cyberpunk 2077 is kind of like a futuristic GTA. I think that's like something comparable, but I don't know like how it's going to be with hijacking and all the insanity that GTA has, all the mature content. I don't know if Cyberpunk 2077 is going to be at that level of matureness, like in terms of like all the cuss
Content,
words,
yeah.
yeah, like all the crazy stuff that GTA has. But like GTA has some NPCs that you would see in one place and you would also see somewhere else, just because like there's no time to customize NPCs. But I would like to see different NPCs all over the place. I don't want to see the same face on 10 different people in the same like area. Like I think this is time. We're getting to an age in video games where like players expect a little bit more creativity, more love into the games, and I think that's when it's going to set the bar for future games coming in.
Yeah, and to touch a little bit more on the diversity aspect of it, I think the setting of this game sort of lends to that because if I'm not mistaken, I think it's in this futuristic technology dystopian California. And California itself is very diverse, right? You have a lot of people from all walks of life,
Mm-hmm.
and it would be an injustice if you don't represent that in the game.
Yeah, all the
So
diversity.
yeah, so I think they're going for it because just if you look at the corpos, the street kids, all these different categories, not only do they vary in what attributes they have, when you look at them, oh, that's a corpo, or that's a street kid. They've sort of found a way to individualize all of these different characters, and so I think they're gonna be doing a really good job at that, and I'm excited for that for sure.
Mm.
So yeah, but going back for a sec to this skyscraper slash verticality business. So the reason I mentioned that real time rendering of the pedestrians and stuff like that. So So, because I'm guessing you need the technology in order to keep everything inside the buildings running in real time too, right? To avoid load screens and stuff like that.
Yeah, they have to be like either the fastest way is probably procedurally generated. Like you walk in and there's no load time. It's like procedurally generated on the go. But then memory might be a problem where, like, say you enter this one room and it's procedurally generated, and you leave and visit later. Somehow the game is gonna have to remember what you saw right there, so that way they could render it against to meet your expectations that it's still there. You
What's
know.
what's that? What's procedurally generated? Is that
Uh,
like a game developer term?
it's a concept where I think the best example is in No Man's Sky, is where you're just finding planets, and the reason planets load so fast and you could land on a planet and everything's already there is because everything is generated through variables. Certain variables is all
Oh,
math related. So that way there's no loading time. Instead of storing all the data somewhere in memory and having your processor to look for it and load it out, which takes a lot more time, especially for big planets like in the Mind Sky. Instead, you use math to quickly insert variables and generate a world, and that reduces loading time.
so how does it? Do you have like a cloud with all of the assets?
A cloud, oh, like a
Sorry. Yeah.
yeah,
Oops.
like it depends how deep you want to go into procedurally generate. Because in No Man's Sky, I don't know how they do it because they also have living creatures that are generated as well, and I think there are some base foundations like skeletons or something where
Mm.
these variables could be applied to. So I think there is a base stored in memory, like a base skeleton, and that could be something similar for Cyberpunk 2077, where you have a base room with furniture, for example, and this furniture is probably pre-rendered somewhere else, saved in data, and each time you enter a different room, the furniture is uh, moved around to make all the rooms feel different, and then even apply colors to those furniture, and then throw in some NPCs with characteristics and stuff. Um,
That's yeah.
yes, but you know, procedurally at that level, like you just don't know how much of the game could be procedurally generated, but maybe they
That's
will.
pretty cool, man.
Yeah, I think they might have to store some of it in memory, especially some assets, and then those assets could be customized, like size and color.
Do you think that area in game development is where AI would infiltrate into the industry, or do you see it happening somewhere else?
No, yeah, procedural generation is in a lot of games already, um, especially like some games on Nintendo Switch, like Enter the Gungeon, where each time you play that game, the map is different, is generated as you
Oh,
enter
that's
each room.
cool.
Yeah, and even the enemies put before you they're not generated, but you don't know it's going to be a different gameplay each time you play it. So and I don't know what other good examples of procedurally generated, because I took a research course in university about all this stuff,
Yeah,
but I am totally rusty. That's probably another topic for a different
yeah.
video or podcast.
Yeah. So that's one of the things with this new channel that we're doing is that part of what we want to do is explore these game development concepts in depth, and then you Moitroid are very knowledgeable in that aspect, and I'm an idiot at it.
No,
So,
I still have a lot to learn.
so yeah, but you know more than me.
Mm.
So what I'm getting at is in this journey for this channel, at least the aspect of exploring these game development concepts, I think there's a lot of people in my boat where they don't know absolutely anything and they just like playing games. And maybe they want to learn a little bit more about what goes on behind the scenes.
Mhm.
So I'm very excited to explore that with you in future podcast videos. And
Yeah,
And
I'm pretty excited to look
yeah,
into the specifics
that's
of details of certain aspects of game design, especially what we were talking about, procedural generation, cloud gaming, level design, character design, testing. Uh, you know, I'm barely hitting the tip of the iceberg, but yeah, not a lot of things come up to mind, but it could go pretty in depth.
we're gonna go for it. But for this video, I think let's keep talking about these predictions because I think
Yeah, we're going
there's
off
so much
topic.
more to explore. Yeah. So let's see. I said that verticality slash scalability. I have another one that I think does go in the line of this uh, sort of world building type thing, and that's the cyberspace, right? So that's pretty cool. Like I have never seen, or I've never played a game where it has this cyberspace aspect. Uh,
Can you
and I'm talking
describe it?
about,
Can you describe
yeah, I'm
what you mean
talking
by
about,
cyberspace?
yeah, I'm not talking about, for example, brain dances. That's a whole different topic. They showed it off recently. Cyber, so there's like this parallel universal reality in the game where you have the hackers and these guys who specialize in the cyberspace. And so one of the trailers, V gets like uploaded into the cyberspace, and it's all like it looks like binary, like sort of like Matrix type thing, right? It looks very fragmented. And I do think that's a really huge opportunity where you might be able to explore player freedom, right? So imagine if there's like, they have corporations in the game, and they've showed them off a little bit. Imagine if there's a corporation that's just dedicated to enabling the citizens of the city to create their own virtual landscapes. I think that would be awesome for players if you could go into some sort of application from this corporation and start building your own world and then
Your
exit back
virtual
into
world.
Night City.
Yeah,
Yeah, exit back into Night City and then go back whenever you want.
yeah, that would be
I
awesome.
think that would be awesome, and I think it's not only explores player freedom, but if they're gonna do any multiplayer, which they've talked about in the past, I think it'd be cool if I could go visit your cyber world.
Yeah,
I think that would be awesome.
yeah,
So
and
that's
it's
a
going to
real
be very
opportunity
useful
there.
for many opportunities, especially for competitive players that want to, you know, compete with each other. That way they could make maps and such, or even just maps to socialize and show off,
Mm-hmm.
or racing maps, because there are cars in the game. People are gonna want to race.
Right?
I'm one of those people. So people are gonna want to make their own racing maps in their own cyber world. Like the current world in Night City. Uh, Although it is really big, uh, despite that CD Projekt Red said that it's not as big as their other worlds. There's only so much you could do uh, in terms of racing, and I'm talking in the context of just racing. Like, there's only
Yeah.
so much that you could race on. But I'm
Yeah.
pretty excited to race on those maps, anyways. But yeah, players would appreciate if you could create your own racing maps or battle maps or socializing. It could be used for anything, even concerts and stuff. You know.
Yeah, right. I think the possibilities are endless when you have so many different concepts, right?
Hmm.
There's so many different things going on at the same time. But yeah, that's one of the things I really want to see in the game. And I think it would be kind of cool if, I don't know, this is sort of out there, but imagine if I don't want to say it because it's too out there. So I'll just skip to the next one,
I have no
I guess.
comment on that. But yeah, have you not taken a coffee break yet? I haven't seen you sip
Oh,
your coffee.
there you go. At 32-bit coffee. So what kind of coffees do you have? in
Right
your
now,
house?
I have house blend, blonde roast, and something called Verana from Starbucks. And then,
Yeah.
I have my decaf stuff whenever I want to drink some at night. And, I don't want to stay awake all night. And I also have instant coffee for whenever I'm lazy.
Oh, you have coffee for all the
Different situations.
different. I only have one coffee. It's Puerto Rican coffee, and it's strong.
Yep,
So that's what I
I
like.
miss that
Yeah.
coffee. Yeah, that was pretty good when we had
Oh,
it.
that's right. When we used to be roomies, uh, you got hooked on that coffee. And
Yeah, drink
the
it
the
every
caf
morning.
the caffeine level in that coffee is just it's unmatched in my opinion.
Yeah, it was a
So
really great coffee. I remember enjoying it every single morning when we lived
yeah,
together. So
yeah,
I gotta get that coffee again. But
yeah.
yeah,
I'll send you a bag.
thanks. I will. You have to now.
It's on the internet.
It's on the internet.
You can call me out if I don't do it.
Yeah, we'll call you out. But yeah,
Oh my gosh.
one of the things I'm definitely looking forward to in the game in terms of gameplay is vision and hearing. You know, I want to have like, for example, night vision or have vision that goes black and white, like kind of like the older movie style, or just very saturated, like high color contrast vision as well. Like I want to have vision um, customization in the game, because I kind of just like to test the waters for certain things, and the same thing with sounds. I want to hear sounds that suppress noise levels on guns. Like I want that to be customizable for your character, especially because there's like exception that you could just put those chips, wearables on your ears, like in the game,
Yeah,
and it will customize what you want to hear. You could hear through walls, you could hear like I just want that. I want that customization on my character for whatever I want it to do, and especially smart guns. I was reading that smart guns in the game is like you have this chip inside of you or some software downloaded into your body or neural system that when you hold the smart gun, the smart gun shoots based on when you think it should be, right. You don't have to press a trigger. Your mind or your how you feel releases that trigger and shoots out of that gun, and you kill somebody with higher accuracy.
that's crazy.
Yeah, so I was reading stuff like that. So I'm pretty excited about the customization for weapons and personal stuff on your character.
Yeah, that's cyberware stuff. I haven't thought about all the things that are gonna be unlocked, like these filters that you're talking about, like the saturation and the black and white and all that stuff. That could be unlocked with a cyberware for the eyes. That would be
Yeah, yeah, and
freaking awesome. That would
and
be cool.
I was reading that even the visuals of your eyes, like your eyes, you customize your. These are cyber optics, where you customize how your eye looks, how they see. You know, people could put glitter in their eyeballs and stuff.
Glitter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I was reading that in the website for Cyberpunk wiki. So
You're gonna get that little anime glow where the eyes glow
yeah,
up.
I want to get that like that Jedi
What's that called?
look like a Sith. But yeah, one thing that I have not really noticed, I did see it in police cars in the game, is flying cars. I have,
Oh yeah.
yeah, flying cars is something that I kind of hope we do get because I haven't seen too much of it. Only like, on certain police cars and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of want to like be driving up in Night City and while I was chasing somebody or running away from somebody and just in midair escape from my car and fall down like Anakin Skywalker style from Attack of the Clones in another car, hijack it like that. I want to do that, so I kind
Yeah.
of want that gameplay experience, just because I always thought that was cool.
Yeah. I want to do that too, but I want it to feel um I don't know if this makes sense, but I want it to feel more risky to be flying than driving.
Hmm.
Like I wanted to have a different kind of feel. Like I don't know, maybe you're flying around and if you crash while you're flying, then maybe that's
building
more
cannons of fire.
damage.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah, or
more
I think that
defensive.
would be crazy. Yeah, if they
Yeah,
do it like that. But if it's just like flying around and you can crash into buildings and nothing happens to you, it's like,
that's fine too. We can't
yeah,
expect too much out of CD Project Red. You know, it's like there's too many, too many outcomes. Like players have too much freedom. You just don't know what players are gonna do.
yeah. It's just I don't know what else to expect. Like they've 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 included so much in what they've shown already, and it's just a prologue. It's like what the heck? Like what can we
It's
expect? It's
just the
gonna be
beginning.
crazy.
I'm gonna have to.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to stream it on Twitch. You know, what I'm gonna do. You know,
you're gonna stream it on Twitch.
yeah, for gameplay research purposes. Not really. I'll basically. I want to break down the game design on this game.
Yeah,
I'm pretty interested in breaking down the game design associated with it, um, especially level design, narrative, player, character.
the music is probably awesome. The Witcher 3 music, the soundtrack is just next level.
Uh,
I love it.
and
Yeah.
that took place in Asia where there was not really a lot of music going on, but we're in the future in this game, so there's gonna be different kinds of music. Like
Yeah.
people, I have
That's true.
there's gonna be different kinds of variations: synthwave, rock, even country, cyberpunk wave. You know, it's
It's gonna be interesting. It's like you said, you were telling me that, there's this mix of cultures or diversity, and that bleeds into the music too. So that'd be kind of cool to see. And I don't know, I just thought about this, right? I didn't have it written down or anything, but it plays into that theme. Like, wouldn't it be cool if you could go to different restaurants and see the different types of food? Like, I don't know, depending on which area you're in, you can go and eat different
at a
kinds of
restaurant.
food, and
Yeah,
they'll have different effects on you. It'd be super cool.
yeah.
I would love to see that.
I'd like to see that too. I'm just very curious about all the bars and clubs. You know,
Yeah,
so we
it's
just
so
don't know right
much.
now. We just don't
Yeah,
know. I wish we knew.
it's so
We would
much.
be ahead of everybody right now if we only us two knew.
Then that would make us privileged in
Yeah,
knowledge,
yeah. So
but
hopefully
we don't
CD
know
Projekt
anything.
Red runs into this video and contacts us.
CD Project Red, if you run into this video, please send me a better webcam.
And please give us more insight before you give anybody else more insight. Help us out.
Yeah. I have one more thing that I would want to see in the game, and it revolves around the brain dancing. I don't know if you got a chance to see that gameplay, but they showed off the brain dancing, and it was pretty cool. It was basically you get inserted into a situation, or you get inserted into something that someone else lived through. And you can look at it from a third person perspective,
Yeah,
or
I
you can
seen
go
that.
first person. So what I really want to see, and it would be more like sort of side content, is that they'll go crazy with that brain dancing. So I don't know if you, I know you started playing Red Dead Redemption 2, but I don't think you've gotten to a point. There's a mission where the protagonist just gets blackout drunk, right, with this buddy of his, and Rockstar just went nuts. Like, they showed us the perspective of him all drunk, but it's like it dives into this dystopian sort of world where he starts imagining his friend, like every other NPC is his friend, and it just goes bonkers, and it's a different type of experience. And I think brain dancing is a good opportunity to give those
Explore. Yeah,
experiences,
explore
yeah,
other NPCs' experiences and
and
find
make
some
them
hidden
just
gems.
crazy.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm pretty curious to see how that's going to turn out, especially with all exploring that players will do on certain NPCs. You know,
Yeah.
you just don't know what you're gonna find. You might find several Easter eggs that no other players might find. It's like possibilities might be endless with brain dancing because I don't know what it is. Did you hear about brain dancing on any NPC or on is it specifics NPCs only?
So from the information we've seen online, the one they showed is uh, you go to this specific place. There's this character. I think her name's Judy, and she's basically I don't know the exact name for it, but she controls the brain dances.
Mm-hmm.
So you go into this place, you sit on this chair, and she selects that sort of situation, and then she inserts you into that situation. So it's sort of like, did you ever play Fallout 4?
Mm-mm.
So in Fallout 4, there's this place called the Memory Den, and you go into this place, and it's just a bunch of pods, and you get into the pod, and you can relive memories, right? Unfortunately, they didn't really in Fallout 4. They didn't explore that very well. Is you just do it once for a main mission, and then you can't do it again, which sucks.
Mm.
But I'm guessing it's something like that, right? You'll go to a place, maybe you see a list of experiences, and you're like, oh, I want to do that one, and you pay some sort
Yeah.
of money, and they upload you into that situation.
Yeah.
I think it would
For
be
example,
crazy
yeah,
for storytelling.
that'd be very cool if we had that for JFK's assassination. But
That'd be crazy, right? Stuff like
you could
that.
just explore the entire world around that event. You know.
They could go nuts with the Easter eggs. They could do so I've heard this rumor that The Witcher and Cyberpunk are in the same universe.
Yeah.
What if you get uploaded into like Geralt of Rivia? Wouldn't that be crazy?
Yeah, you could explore that little part of
It's
that
stuff like
world.
that. That's
And,
crazy. You know? They
I
they
hope.
could go all out. Yeah, I would love to see them just because these mechanics, they're good for the main story, but I think these are these mechanics are where side content can really thrive. You know,
Mhm.
there are so many possibilities for side content with the mechanics. So
Yeah, just for people, especially for people that just want to play passively.
right,
Like, there's so much to explore. In There's going to be too much for me to explore. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get through everything, because of all the things going on in our lives.
yeah,
YouTube going on. I'm working on my game, working on your projects. And we both
yeah.
have our jobs on the sides, and we both have lives too. We have family and friends and stuff. So
That's the philosophical question behind this game, right? Is whenever you get a game this size,
can you
a lot of
really?
people, yeah, a lot of people just sort of get so sucked in that everything else just sort of
You don't have
fades
time
into
to
the
play other
background.
games.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like I don't know if I would like to do like a little poll on all our subscribers right now. If you guys want to see us go all in, invest into this game and not play any other games, then just let us know in the comments below,
yeah.
and I'll put more time than I have to just for you guys.
I know I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna go hard on it.
I'll,
You know,
I'll make this promise. If I'm gonna invest in it, I'm gonna make sure to stream it on Twitch or YouTube.
yeah,
Yeah, if I'm
it's
gonna,
gonna be a lot of hours of content.
yeah, uh, infinite.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, that's it for pretty much it for today. We This is our first video, and
yeah.
uh, I think it went pretty well. We
I
have a lot to
think,
learn
yeah.
and innovate, especially the layout of our video, as you see. So everything's gonna keep getting better from here on out. Quality is just gonna slowly get there. So glad you guys are all
Exactly.
with us.
Yeah, and then it's just exciting, right? We've been talking about doing this for a long time, and
We had several
it's
attempts.
cool. Yeah,
We had
yeah.
several failed attempts.
yeah, some messes,
Mhm.
just mess that we did in the past. But I think this time I feel good about it. I think we're gonna be putting out a lot of different types of content, not just opinions like what we did today. So subscribe, hit the like button, share the video, and
Follow us on Instagram.
join us for a cup of coffee
Yeah.
every other day. So
Yeah, I don't know about every
cheers.
other day, but yeah.
I don't I don't know, we'll figure out the schedule.
Yeah,
We still haven't figured it out.
yeah, we're just
But
testing the waters and going with the flow for now.
yeah.
All
All
right,
right, man.
all right,
Well,
ready?
we'll
Yeah,
see everyone in the other
on the next video.
show. Yeah, in the next video. Take care everyone.
Peace.
Peace out.